talk about the term chiffonade. The term chiffonade means to roll like a cigar. Anybody ever seen a hand-rolled cigar made? They roll the leaves, roll them up, okay? Well, when you do that, you roll things uniformly, you slice them very thinly, you get ribbons. Green onions, you don't roll green onions because they're already tubular. But things like lettuces and cabbages and radicchios and things like that, when you make salads, you roll them, you go thinly through them, and it makes ribbons, okay? Now, when we talk about we talk about how to hold a knife, right? You get a hold of it. Put your finger up there like that. Get a hold of it. When you got it, you've got it. Whether it's a big one, or they do make smaller chef knives. This is a 5-inch. This is the one that my girls at work use. It's the same principle. It's a little smaller to use. For me, it's too small. My fingers go around the blade. It's not a worse knife. It's not. Just I don't prefer this. My hands are too big. If you have small hands, this knife, it's a Forstner brand. This knife's about 15 bucks. Lasts a lifetime. I could afford any knives that I've got a set my grandmother bought me for Christmas. One year when I graduated, I think they cost over $400. I've never used them. I don't like them. So now I've got these cucumbers that we've already de-seeded and that I peeled. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the chiffonade, because that's number one. Can everybody see? Anybody grow any herbs? Anybody grow basil, thyme, oregano? Anybody grow herbs? Great. I do too. Here's my repurposing line for the night. Go online, type in pallet, planter, vertical. You would not believe what you can do with a pallet that everybody throws away in behind all these stores, these wooden pallets. They make beautiful herb gardens. I have 4 at my house. They're fabulous. Research that. Pallet, planter, vertical. It'll show you. Okay, so what we want to do is when we're doing this chiffonade, right? Come on, chiffonade. Okay, what we're going to do is, like I said, is roll like a cigar, right? So we're going to take these wonderful basil leaves. We're going to put them down, and I put them down just one right on top of the other, just like a deck of cards. See that? I'm just laying them down. They don't all have to be open. I'm just literally laying them down. And let me get this on so we can. Okay. So now we've got this going on to a roll. And then what we're going to do, chiffonade means to roll. So I'm going to roll this basil up into a basil cigar. I'm going to take my knife, I'm going to use my front knuckle, and I'm going to let this knife just ride right up and down on my front knuckle. Okay, watch. This simple. See where that knife blade is? It's on my front knuckle. I'm going to cut that front piece. So all I'm doing with this is coming right through this front knuckle all the way. Now I said what we're trying to achieve is ribbons, right? Chiffonade cut, roll and twist, and we get ribbons, okay? So we're going to do that again so everybody knows what we're doing. So we're going to take our basil, we're going to lay it in a nice pile, we're going to roll it. See that? It's rolled into a nice little cigar roll. We're going to hold it. We're going to use the flat part of our knuckle against our knife blade. And we're going to leave the point on the cutting board, and we're just going to go right through. See that? Don't go fast. Remember I told you that sharpening steel was worthless? All those chefs do that so fast, it's because they got big egos. Okay? All the chefs that go, guess why they do that? They got big egos. Okay, take your time. Don't cut your fingers. And just keep rolling right through. Okay? So we've got that. And what did we say? We wanted it to have what? Ribbons. See that? Isn't that beautiful? If you could smell that from where I'm at, it's fresh basil, okay? All right, so we've got the chiffonade cut, and then if you look at the instructions, it shows you how to roll and how to do. Welcome to the class. Oh, that's quite all right. Well, that's quite all right. Okay, the reason I want to do this salad is because it's so simple. It's so good for you. It's got the balsamic vinegar, which, man, vinegar is antioxidant. It's great for your body. It's got the fresh mozzarella cheese, which, man, the Food City's done a fabulous job of bringing on a lot of cheese. This fresh mozzarella, the Bella Gozzi brand, and again, I don't work for Food City, but they just happen to have some good cheese. And these cherry tomatoes, which we all have during the summer. This is a 5-minute salad that you can add chicken to, you can add shrimp to it, you can add artichoke hearts to it, you can add olives to it. You can take this thing in any direction you want to take it, okay? This is just a 5-minute version of a great salad. Okay, so now we've got our chiffonade. We'll move on to the julienne. All right, as I said, I've already peeled these. I've already seeded them with a spoon. Anybody need any instruction on how to peel them with a spoon or seed them with a spoon? Just take it, hold your spoon flat, go right down the middle, okay? If you look at juliennes, it says strips. Okay, anytime you make a salad, a couple things you got to consider. You want things the same size, right? We want things the same size. You don't want a tomato this big and a piece of something this big and a piece of something this big. You're looking for things to be the same. That being said, what I'm looking at is, here's my tomatoes and my mozzarella. Mozzarella is already packaged like this. It's called pearls, okay? It's out in the market, okay? I just took cherry tomatoes and halved them. So this is where, I can't change the size of this. This is what I've got. So I'm gonna cut my vegetables to match my cheese, okay? So anytime you work with something that's round, don't work from the round surface, right? If you're peeling carrots or potatoes, take your peeler and go 2 extra times down one side. That'll give you that flat edge to lay it on, okay? If you go around it equally, it's gonna stay round. Take you a couple extra swipes, get you a flat edge, so when you drop that down, you got a flat edge, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work from the back side, okay? And again, can't stress that enough. My knife lays against my knuckles. Fingers back, thumb back, and it lays on my knuckle. You can't cut yourself if you keep that knife on your knuckle. But I'm not gonna go fast because I don't have a big ego. All right. And all I'm doing is making these nice slices. I'm gonna gather them up. I'm looking at what I got here. I'm looking at what I got here. Again, I'm gonna use my knuckle. I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna just be nice and slow. And I'm just gonna take my knife and I'm gonna let it do the work. And I'm coming right back on my knuckle. And I'm just going right through my cucumber. Just like so, okay? Now my cucumber matches my salad. And we'll continue to do that. I don't know that we'll need all this cucumber, but we're gonna get there. One more will get us. We'll put that in the thank you for coming bowl. Y'all should really research that the palette planner that's on the, and I'll say that because you missed that. I have an herb garden at home. I refurbish planters with the old pallets. There's a video on that on YouTube. It's fantastic. If anybody wants an herb garden and you don't put it in a pallet, you're working way too hard. It's great. Okay. We talked a little bit about why this is a good salad. Because it has antioxidants in it, it has things like that, it has the vinegar in it. Anytime you have vinegar, which is an acid, there's something you need to know. Anybody knows what vinegar does to food when it sits on it? It cooks it. So, when you make your coleslaw, do you want to make your coleslaw 10 minutes before you eat it, or do you want to make your coleslaw 2 hours before you eat it? We'll make it early, right? So it softens a little bit and the vinegar has a chance to work. Okay, same principles here, because we're using a balsamic vinaigrette dressing. This has balsamic vinegar in it. I want the vinegar, the acid in the vinegar, to take the edge off the onion. I want it to take the edge off the cucumber. So this is a salad you want to make about 30 minutes to 45 minutes ahead and let it set. Okay? So now we've talked about chiffonade. We've got our beautiful ribbons of basil. Okay? That's in there. We talked about our juliennes. Okay, here's things with onions. Most folks don't like a piece of onion that big. They don't. So here's a little thing. What you have to look at is what ingredients you're using. Things like onions, garlic, shallots, they have a strong flavor. You want to use those in moderation. So what I'm going to do is, I'm still going to stay with the julienne being a long strip, but instead of this wide, I'm going to take it down to paper thin, because I want that onion to be paper thin. So it's more of a flavor and not a piece of onion. And this does require a little bit of skill. But again, as we talked about, where does the knife stay? Against our knuckle, okay? This knife stays against my knuckle. Okay, I got my onion down. Got my sharp knife. See my fingers? Got my fingers right to the edge of that onion, okay? Again, we're not gonna go fast. We're going to leave our knife point on the board, and we're going to go. See how I haven't even moved my hand, and I've already made 5 slices? Now I'm going to just slide my hand back. And I am literally just pushing my hand backwards like 1/8 of an inch at a time. And I'm just making my nice little cuts, not in any hurry. I'm down to a portion of the onion that I can't control anymore. Soups and stocks, or thank you for coming, Bo. Now, we see on my knife blade? See how small those onions are? Now they complement the salad, they don't make it over. Okay? And I'm gonna break them up. So we have our nice little pieces. And we're gonna do the same thing right here. I'm going in on an angle to start. See that? You can always hear it. It doesn't sound like it's cutting it sounds like it's shaving it, right? Which it is. Nice and slow, nice and slow. Don't get in a hurry. In fact, you know what I tell people? Bring somebody in the kitchen with you. It'll make you slow down. Don't hurry. Only people ever in a hurry in food is banquet people at hotels, when they got 5,000 people to feed in an hour. At home, that's what's wrong with our homes now. Fast food. When's the last time you've ever sit down at a dining room table and eat with your family? You know? Really? We don't do that no more, do we? Because you take it out of the box, throw it in the microwave. Everybody eats at different times. Y'all sit in front of the television. If you do this, slow down, stop. You know, get an island. If you don't have an island, set this up on your kitchen table. Me and my wife do this outside all the time. In the snow, I had a fire. We cooked outside just like this on my patio. Because it's a time for us to slow down and talk to each other. And again, you don't need to do all that fast stuff. Okay? So, now we've got that going on. So what I'm gonna do now, this is just cherry tomatoes, mozzarella, right out of the store. Pearls. Bella Lugosi's, the best brand. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna have this here, just like so. Okay? Just gonna take straight up. You can go through the trouble of making a balsamic reduction if you really like that product. I do, I make it. Stinks your whole kitchen up. Yeah, you start off with a gallon of balsamic vinegar, you wind up with a pint. It stinks your kitchen up. Is it worth it? If you really like it, it's worth it. If you don't really like it, this is wonderful, right here, okay? So I'm gonna mix it up just a little better. And all we're gonna do is we're just gonna dress this salad. And again, as I told you, there's vinegar in here. And that vinegar is gonna pull out, kind of work on the cucumbers, work on the tomatoes, work on the basil. Excuse me. So I'm gonna do again, I'm just tossing this through, just like so. I don't over salt my food. I don't overly season my food with a bunch of stuff that don't go in it. I'm just thinking, to me personally, if it's the summertime and I just come from the farmer's market and I have that, I'm pretty much good with that. I don't think we need a lot of salt. Of course, that's going to bring your moisture out of your cucumbers, going to cause it to get watery. I'm good with this right here. If you prefer salt, garlic, onion, if you prefer all that, it's your palate. You can do it any way. You want cayenne pepper in it. If you want to cut some hot pepper and put in it, your palate. This is a 5-minute salad that is absolutely a winner. A winner.